decided to take the fight to them yet. There hasn't been any trades. No team has really been hit apart from Bowser and his Mad Cat Mark II-B. As I speak, trades are currently happening. Ringwraith at 96%, Pasha at 93%, Krasnopetsky not in the light as he normally is, in the Dragon 89%. The trades are definitely in favor of Imperial. Chimera, Bowser using the ungodly levels of accuracy that we're used to seeing, putting pressure down on CSJ, not allowing them to move, and at the same time, the lights sitting at Kappa are just kind of tamp dancing with each other, not doing much. At the same time, unfortunately, Charlemagne's high skill level isn't being used as he's just kind of babysitting Epsilon from what it looks like, unless that is Vehixius. Actually, I'm wrong. It is Vehixius. Charlemagne is currently sitting around his heavy team, getting ready to move if necessary, trying to look for openings. At the same time, it looks like Self and the light from CSJ are seesawing. I'm guessing that's either Dario or Darkness Inside You. Both teams are certainly sitting on range trades. Chimera, Bowser at around 86%, with CSJ starting to pull these trades back. Ringwraith at 95%, Pasha at 93%, Krasnopetsky 89%, but Chimera lays a brutal shot. And on the Night Gear, Bowser's starting to lay down the pain.
Ooh,
and while
strike.
Yes, definitely. And right now, what we're seeing is that trades are still pretty even and that the armor is being conserved very well, but Bowser's starting to take some hits. Bowser, a very, very aggressive range trader. He kind of depends on his team, but then it looks like we have a light gank right around Epsilon. The Mist Lynx and the Piranha are moving with each other. Charlemagne and Cell trying to get the gank. Both of them are known for their aggressive light play, but the gank might not be that successful. It's a Commando 2D from Iron. Iron very much out of position, but it looks like he's going to get away by the sheer armor values of that mech. Still 68% is not where you want to be with a light mech.
Ooh.
Bowser 71, Chimera 65.
That was a big hit then on Ringwraith, just dropped about 6 or 7%, and that's nearly CT open on him now, so he's got to be super careful. Very good accuracy from whoever that was. I think it was Chimera, actually.
Definitely, and this is exactly what we see from Imperial. Like, but it looks like JGX has a surprise in store. They have a light in the rear. It looks like it's a Piranha, but he's wisely backing off because he realizes he engages without his team providing much fire support. Epsilon is getting turned by the lights just to make sure that nothing happens.
Reckless was all over that too. I just saw Dario popping in the back there, and Reckless in the assassin was all over that. He was not letting that happen, but look at him. They're up on Theta now. This is, and another big strike there on Iron. Oof. What was that on Theta? A little light fight going on over here now.
Definitely, and it looks like the lights are trying to engage. Imperial's lights are trying to pick at them. Ash, does it look like the lights moving behind Theta? Is this going to be an attempt?
I don't know. Look, it's CSJ. Its lights are diving out. Now, Salith is moving in, pushing pressure. I think a push has been called here. Reckless is up here in 80%. Charlemagne down to 53. He's open somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but Pasha is picking Charlemagne off brutally right now. The other team is on the Dragon, nonetheless. Krasnopetsky looks like he's about to go down. Iron is at 44%, and Darkness is weak as well. Vex has still got decent percentage. Reckless is starting to hurt. Chimera's pretty healthy, even at 50%, nothing critical. Bowser's all good, but being blocked by Kraz, who looks like he's lost an arm. Salov takes down Iron. Pasha looks like he's got to be open somewhere. Reckless is on him. Reckless is into his business, well and truly there. And, it's starting to cascade pretty heavily. Ringwraith is stuck in the lava. I reckon he's got to be hot now. He's got to be heat capped. Stuck down there in the lava like that. Yep, that is hell. Yep. Chimera finishes off Raz. Hang on, is Dario dead or we got the bug? Oh no, Dario's still alive, my bad.
Dario's alive at 57%. He's at the machine guns.
He wants Bowser.
Bowser trying to get that kill.
He wants Bowser.
Proton, don't die on
us. He wants some.
Proton.
Whoa, wowee. There we go.
Wow, what a match.
That was good. Good first drop. Good damage, the spread in the end there by EmP, and the fact that Bowser was still alive is crazy. And Reckless too. Look, have a look. Can I see their percentages? Oh, Reckless is just about cooked. Salas is CT'd, one touch as well. And Chimera's nearly legged. I don't know what's going on there. Run us through the damage numbers while I just quickly catch up on the cat business over here.
Of course, Self at 193 in the Mistlinks G, Charlemagne 222 and the Piranha 1S, surprising since he was getting focused very quickly. Reckless 292 in the Assassin, Chimera 430 in the Night Gear D, Bowser laying 579 top damage on Imperial with 5 in the Mad Cat Mark II-B, Vixius 287 in the Mistlinks G, and on CSJ side you have Pasha and Ringwraith carrying the day with 550 and 481 respectively in their Night Gears. Krasnopetsky did not do much in his Dragon 5N sadly at 220. Iron getting ganked and doing practice practically nothing in his Comm 2D at 14 damage. Darkness Inside You, Piranha 1, valiantly trying to do 190. And Dario, bringing his skill and expertise in lights, did 374 in the Piranha 1. Now, I'd like to point out that Charlemagne did an amazing job tanking those lights. He was trading damage and dishing damage, and you could tell that he was probably one of the primary focuses that the lights called because he dove fast. He used the Piranha's hitboxes to try and mitigate as much as he can while dishing out the damage. So that's something that you really don't see a lot being said in light calls. It's extremely underrated, but it shows what really good brawling light play is, and that is why, in my opinion, Charlemagne is one of the best lights in this game.
There we go. Well, I'm going to flick over to the map strat very quickly while I update this. You want to give us a little bit of a rundown of what happened here. Oh, the map strat needs to be a little bit bigger for this one because Terra, for some reason, is really small.
Switch teams first.
Oh yeah, you can switch the teams. That's good. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll do the map strat while you do that. So exactly. We had EmP move up here. To sort of Fox 7 with Bowser Chimera and the Assassin at the back here of Reckless doing a little bit of fending off of the lights. We had with the CSJ guys, I think it was one here. Pasha was up the back here. Ring ended up moving up to sort of here. And CSJ taking Kappa early. And EmP taking Epsi and Theta early. Oh, and also Kraz was here in G7 as well. Basically, some lots of trading in the early to mid game between both teams. That Bowser probably a little bit more damage overall, but the spread was more on the CSJ mech, so they'd sort of eat a little bit more damage, in my opinion. And what happened over the back here, though, and probably the critical thing, is Iron came around here to have a little bit of a sniff and a look at Epsi, and then got ganked by 2 mechs from EmP, and I think he lost 30% or something like that. Probably wasn't the best play. 30%, yeah. Not too long after. After that, we had sort of CSJ sort of make a bit more of an aggressive push and actually take Theta. And again, Iron, I think, ate another 10% or something on Theta. So that definitely would have hurt as well in that Commando. Whilst the Commando is very good and very tanky, strikes hit it just the same. So, and then after that, Kraz sort of came across here. I think he lost the arm on the Dragon. And after that, the Reckless show was in. So the Reckless sort of came over here in the Assassin and started doing all sorts of wonderful things, I think, into Pasha's butt with his SRMs. And then just here is where the lava is. And I think Ring got stuck in there. So that probably was not helping his heat efficiency, unfortunately, because when you're stuck in the lava, you start overheating really bad.
I think that's the understatement.
Yeah.
Your mech's pretty much done. You're like, you might as well be dead.
You're in some serious trouble at that point. Do you remember how many mechs were killed on the other team? I know Imperial obviously got 6. Whether they got CSJ got 1 or 2, I don't know. Can't remember.
2.
I got 2. Alrighty. We will up.
CSJ got 2, since it was Charlemagne that got ganked, and I believe it was also Celt that got ganked. But the replay, the stream, thankfully being 5 minutes late, will tell us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that'll work out well. So there we go. EmP so far winning the very first drop. Now we are up to the second drop, which essentially is reversed, right? So these guys now just flip sides and kind of do it again. But in reverse. So now we have a few minutes up our sleeves. These guys look like they're actually taking a little bit of time in between drops, this time to either switch out mechs or whatever. What do you reckon we're going to see from this side? I'll bring up the map strat again. Obviously,
before we begin, it's 1 mech. Sorry.
Oh, yep.
I've only lost 1 mech. Charlemagne, unfortunately. He ate Crow, so his team could.
There we go. I will change that back to 1. 6-1 after the first drop. There we go. Dodgy, dodgy. So, right, now. Map strat this time. I will flick back over to that. What do you reckon we're going to see this time? Because this sides are quite different on this map, actually. With, I think, Team 2 having a slightly better advantage than Team 1 for range trading. You just have a little bit more angles, a little bit more position, sort of through G6, H7, G7, and even sort of Hotel 8 and G8, as opposed to sort of Echo 7, where you can eat some strikes if you're not watching. But what do you reckon we're going to see this time around, mate?
Well, I think that we're going to see a similar strategy from Imperial, but perhaps with more aggressive play at Epsilon instead of what CSJ was doing with the light ganks. It's obvious right now that unfortunately Dario is carrying a lot of weight on this light lance because, as we saw from the damage numbers, Iron didn't do much at all, and his inexperience in lights definitely showed. He was picked on by Imperial and basically turned a light match from a 3v3 to a 3v2. So I think that Imperial might try and take advantage of this by having more aggressive light play on Epsilon, but I think that Imperial is going to take advantage of the fact that they believe they are the best range traders in the game. You ask Bowser, Chimera, Reckless, and even Kippers, who unfortunately isn't playing today. He's on the bench, but definitely one of the top echelon players. And I think even yourself would agree for you that you guys are top level range playing pilots. So they're going to take advantage of the skills that they have. They're going to sit in the Golf 7 and Golf 8 area to try and cover Theta. They're not even going to bother contesting Kappa because it's too far, unless they want to do kind of a more unconventional strategy, which I don't think Imperial is going to do since they like to stick to the tried and true. But
Yep.
yeah, I think overall that we're going to see Golf 7, Golf 8 be the primary range spots. And like I said, I think that Iron's benched, which it looks like he isn't, that Imperial might take advantage of the fact that their light lances definitely has a bit of an advantage in the experience and skill department to try and bully CSJ a little more.
Going to be also interesting to see mech choices too, right? So we're already looking at EMP, who are already what now? One Mad Cat down. And what's that? CSJ? Was that 2 Night Gears last drop?
CSJ brought 2 Night Gears
and 1 Dragon. So yeah, Night Gears, which maybe you would sort of think is pretty good for Rubelite, which is also a war map later on. Not going to be brought. So it's going to be interesting to see now where that mech choice goes and, well, essentially what they do. So, yeah, we'll kind of... This is going to be a good one. I think EMP might play the game slightly differently from this side, and CSJ also play differently as well. Do they upgrade maybe to an assault this game from the CSJ side and do similar to that EMP and really try and control that sort of F7 map and Theta early or not? We will find out very, very shortly because these guys are locking themselves in. Make sure you're active in the chat, everybody. After this drop, just a FYI, we will do a giveaway. We've got, 3,000 MC worth of codes to give out. We've got 3 mech bays to pump out there as well. So make sure you are sticking around. You're active in the chat. Maybe spam some emotes for me. I like seeing emotes in the chat. That always brings a smile to my dial. Seeing the channel breakdown with a bunch of stuff and spam in there. We won't set it to slow mode today, hopefully. So you can spam to your heart's content for 30 seconds. Go crazy. And teams are locked. Well, here we go. Match is coming up.
Final confirmation just to make sure that both teams are ready. Don't want to launch premature.
Yep. So again, drop 2 is Terra, 250 tons to 275 tons, and max of any free chassis across the 5 drops. And it is Conquest 6v6 with a 3 cap. So not a traditional 5 cap that you would normally see in quick play. As there's only 6 mechs, we only have 3 caps, and it does actually change the gameplay up quite a bit, depending on the map and the strats that teams may choose to use. So here we go. We are now launching into the next match. Now, let me have a look. See. Loading in.
It's going to be interesting seeing these mechs, but I have a feeling Bowser might stick with the Mad Cat Mark II. He really does love that assault.
Well, we will find out very, very shortly. Once the dropships drop in, which they are in the process of doing.
I eat my words. He's in the NCT, which I am not familiar with. I haven't played.
NCT is Novacat, good sir.
Ah, okay. So
run us through the Team 1 mechs. Team 1 being CSJ, and I'll just have a quick look at their mechs.
Of course. So Krasnopesky is once again bringing the Dragon 5 in. Tried and true Mick. Good for this map. Pasha sticking with the Night Gear B. He performed very well in it. And then Iron with the Commando 2T again, this time joined by Darkness Inside You in the Commando 2D. Dario bringing his trademark Piranha 1. And Energy bringing the Nova Cat C as well. This time on Imperial side, Chimera's bringing the Night Gear D. Charlemagne Piranha 1. Cell Sting and his Mistlinks G. All machine guns.
Got an early fight here at Theta. 2 Commandos versus 1 Piranha. So this is a CSJ early aggressive cap. That's what that is. They are trying to control the map very early this time around with that little wolf pack of lights there. Holy shit. Like 2 Commando Ds and a Piranha. Charlemagne ain't doing much.
Charlemagne can't do much against those. That's 2 mechs, but it's interesting to see that because you'd think that Imperial would try and be more aggressive in the contest, but I guess they want to still play it conservative in the end, which I suppose is a wise strategy. If Third Eye can join them in the Assassin 2-1, which is kind of like a light killer, and Third Eye is very capable in that mech, then perhaps Imperial could turn something around, but what do you see?
I say on the Nova Cat here, Bowser's 4 ER Peeps, and Chimera in the Night Gear has 2 Gauss, 1 Peeps, and 2 R Medium. So a very, very warm build. Well managed, will go quite well. Energy on his Nova Cat actually has a whole bunch of UACs, 5s and 10s, which is kind of interesting. I mean, having a look at the mech just here, kind of low mounted in the arms. So I don't know if that mech has some sort of special quirks or not. I'll have to investigate that later because I actually have no fucking idea.
And right now, there's no serious trading as you wouldn't expect from this, but right now, CSJ is clearly controlling the cap game. Imperial is just taking shots at lights. They haven't really... Actually, yes, Dario got hit with a PPC shot. He's down 93%. Piranha is taking PPC shots. Is definitely not a well-advised strategy. It's a 20-ton mech. It doesn't have a lot of armor. It's the very definition of a glass cannon, and Imperial looks like they're still trying to form up on the trade line, but you see CSJ kind of has 2 lights sitting around Epsilon, ready to jump anything that tries to cap it.
Well, yeah, they got Kraz here in the Dragon and Darkness in that Commando. They are going to try and get the cap advantage and force Imperial to do something. That is. It's obvious as daylight of what is happening here. Although I don't think that the CSJ positions are necessarily the best here, sort of sitting back down low. You got to be really communicative on your strikes. Otherwise, you're going to get hit by a strike and potentially not even see it. Just to the right of the Nova Cat right now, you can drop a strike in front of that hill, and really, honestly, you're not going to see it until you get hit, because that hill is quite high. Oh, energy just ate 10%, and this is what I mean. Here is the strike, look at that, and Pasha just ate 4 or 5% from sitting behind that wall. Again, strikes in this position are definitely going to make mince meat of you very, very quickly, and energy is down to 85%, so losing trades there. In the meantime, we have a little bit of Dario business going on over here at Kappa. Now, Seleth and Reckless are not going to have a bar of that. They are saying, no thank you, sir. We are not losing our cap today. Iron is coming back around to help them, so we might see a little bit of something going on later, but this is just heavy cap control. Imperial needs some kind of play to make something happen here. And I think that is what's happening.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I was just about to say, it looks like there might be a play forming, or at least we thought there was a play forming since they brought 2 assassins and a light to try and flank around at Theta, but it looks like they aren't ready. But what's interesting to note is that Chimera is a real man right now, standing at the front, trading essentially 1v3 and doing a very good job. This is definitely one of the top range traders in the game. He's landing his shots very well on energy, on cross, and while also avoiding strikes as well.
The thing they don't realize here though, right, that CSJ are well backed out. Like, it is very, very easy right now for Imperial to basically essentially group up and push in. By the time this Nova Cat and Nike actually kind of get into position and the lights, Imperial would have already taken it, but that doesn't look like it's happening. It looks like they're going to go for a right side assault instead. What's that? So the Epsi side push with some Overwatch here. Okay, so what's going to happen here is the Nova Cat and Night Gear of EmP are essentially going to lock Energy and Pasha down. They're going to lock them out of this game from coming across Theta, and this is going to be 4v2. This is not going to end well. I think Krasno is in some serious trouble right now. See, yeah, look at this. Bowser and Chimera have absolutely perfect. Bowser's moved up. Bowser has gone big dick. He's in. He is charging. He is Bowser's not stopping.
No brakes on the big dick
and Kraz is in trouble. Kraz is down. Yep, Kraz goes down with that push. That was a good push there. Now, can they capitalize it on? Can they capitalize it? You call it. I'm going to keep looking at the mix.
Well, it looks like they are going to capitalize it right now because the Commandos are fleeing energies at 78%, and right now Imperial's laying the pain. Bowser this time being the man pushing up with the Assassins. Third Eye also pushing up as well.
Oof.
The percentages are definitely not in Imperial's favor. Energy right now at 58%. Iron 69% is Commando trademark Iron taking some early damage.
Oh, energy's lost a torso. He's down. He's done.
Yeah,
Energy's done.
Like
yep.
Pretty much. Third Eye finishes him off. Very good finish. The Piranha's getting battered on the other side. Dario 77%, but that's a bad 77%. It looks like his shoulders are about to go. Iron 62. He's unable to really influence this brawl that much, it feels like. In the night gear,
Oop, Dario's
I
legged.
believe is in the thick.
Dario's been legged.
Destroys Iron. Oh, that's not a good
Oh, wow. That PPC accuracy there, that pinpoint shooting from Bowser, exceptional. Look at that. That was really, really good. Bowser and Pasha go at it. Pasha gets Bowser as a bit of payback there for killing the Iron.
Charlemagne makes a bad move. Looks like he lost the light fight, and in darkness inside, he's destroyed Chimera.
Wowee! That did not go well at all. Although Seleth at 90% could do something here. I'm just trying to click on the damn Commando because it's so small and so damn fast.
Yeah, the Commando doesn't.
Oh, Commando's one touch. Pasha's also one touch. One touch gets Pasha. Oh, Seleth could be in here. Seleth could be in here for the actual pullback of the century. If he gets his leg on Dario and doesn't die, he does. Oh, wow. Oh, now we have a match.
Wait, the match is over though, Ash. Look at the Commando. He has no ammo.
Oh, has the Commando got no ammo? Oh no! Get stuffed!
No ammo. No.
Oh no way! Well! Look at that! It comes down to the wire. Woof! Whoa! Shit!
Down to caps right now. CSJ has a cap advantage, and the mislink isn't exactly what you'd call a capping mech, but it's not like the Commando's much faster. The Commando has no torso. He has no weapons. He's gonna have to run his sweet little self away. Fly, Commando! Fly! Run away!
He needs some sort of 17 jump jets to get away from this to do something and pull this game back. So. I mean, does Seleth chase him and just go for the kill, or does he finish the caps? I mean, he's got a single cap, so I mean, he knows where he is.
I think right now the best strategy for Self is to finish the cap. He has caps, he has guns. There is no 5 cap that can be done. There's no snarkiness that can be done. That Commando is running at 115 kph, which means that it's slower than the Mislinks. Obviously, I believe that it was running a light XL, which means it speeds cap. The Mislinks is faster. It still has its guns. At this point, the difference is only 60 points, and right now Imperial's got a 3 cap. I don't see CSJ winning this. Darkness Inside You has no guns.
Yep. Oh, look. That fight came right down to the wire then. I reckon that was basically Pasha then doing some amazing work to pull that back. Well, what did he get? Two or three mechs in very quick succession. That was some absolutely amazing shooting there to do that. But unfortunately, Darkness is, well, yeah, like you said, run out of ammo. I mean, I wonder whether he physically ran out or maybe it's been crit or something. Very hard to tell. Oh! Seleth!
Oh my... What? Did it do anything? Did it kill him? No!
He's just got what? He's just got a torso. That's it. Like a red torso and a red CT and a leg. He ate like 10% from that sneaky strike there from Seleth. Wow, wait, what a match.
Very conservative because he doesn't know if the Commando has ammo, but I think he's going to realize now that with the Commando running around, it's over. He has no ammo. Because Celtis has to...
Surely has no ammo, and wow, Lord, that is a match. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were enjoying this tonight. I said very early on that this would go down to the wire, and look at that. That drop was down to the wire on drop 2. Amazing play from both teams. Run me through the damage numbers. Let's have a look.
Well, it turns out that the lights that got ganked early on Imperial didn't even do that bad the first time. Charlemagne dropping 345, Reckless dropping 335 in his Assassin, Third Eye dropping 163, but he still did work since he was a hell of a tank during that brawl. Bowser and the Nova Cat 494 bringing his trademark insanity, pushing with PPCs. Cell 271 in the Mislinks, but 4 kills. Call the cleanup crew. Celt's number is high on that list. Dario 268 and Iron once again, a little bit flaccid in this drop, 117. Krasnopesky in the Dragon 5N, 185, unfortunately getting armed. Energy 192 in the Nova Cat. Krasnopesky and Energy were probably the first people pushed, which is why the damage numbers were low for them. Darkness inside you trying to bring back the match. 249 in his Comp 2D, kill, 4 assists. Pasha leading the way in his Night Gear B, 2 kills, 2 assists. I remember, Ash, I was talking to you about Pasha, saying that I thought that he was a little rusty. Turns out that he's causing me to eat crow and basically choke on my words. He is definitely a top-level player in this game.
He is definitely not rusty. I definitely called it. He made the play then, but unfortunately could not pull it off for CSJx. Well,
oh wait, do I switch to the teams? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's all right. I've already moved the lobbies anyway. So I'm just going to do some very, very quick map strategy, right? So we had sort of CSJ sort of set up a little bit sort of further back here than sort of where EmP sort of sat. I'll draw the line here where sort of EmP sort of was set up a little bit sort of more forward. So CSJ a little bit further back, eating a little bit more strikes and stuff early on, I think, than they probably should have. But we had EmP sort of guys sitting up here. They made a kind of lights sort of came in cap around here. And we had the CSJ with the early Theta and an early Epsi. So they were really, really good aim there to get the caps early, get Theta early with the 2 commandos, and basically taking Charlemagne out of the game early on. We did have a little bit of a Dario coming around here, a bit of sneaky snack, but he was very much chased off by a big, angry back in that direction. So he was sent scurrying back to Echo 7. I think three EmP mechs responded to that. Because Kappa being very, very important to them. So what happened after that, CSJ were a little bit sort of further back here in Fox 7, so on the second hill. In the meantime, we had Kraz and Darkness in here in the right-hand side, Theta sort of little trench sort of thing off to the side. And EmP came around here with 4 mechs. Bowser did a big dick push across there. That was ballsy to go across there with PPCs. I actually thought he was going to sit back here with Chimera and essentially lock that area down. But that didn't happen, which actually allowed Pasha to come up and do some really, really good work in the end there. Wowee. And then we had a whole little bit of light back here and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And we had some light backwards and forwards and around here. And well, EmP came out with the win by the skin of their teeth after that drop. Wowee.
Definitely. That drop was probably extremely surprising, especially with the unfortunate pick of Charlemagne in the beginning. Props to Bowser, props to Chimera. Big dick movements from their heavy and assault pilots. Bowser saying, I don't give any fucks that I don't have. I don't give any fudges that I have no brawling weapons. I'm going to go in, get in your face. Bowser properly earning his title as the new Proton. Broton indeed, Broton indeed. And then after that, you have the lights coming in and clean up. I think the biggest difference, however, was that EMP's light play was much more focused. You saw Charlemagne, Celt working together in tandem, focusing down light targets. And then you kind of had Iron wishy-washing around, eating shots that he shouldn't have. And, you know, it looked like Darkness inside you and Dario also weren't really coordinating that well. And that's why this percentages were, you know, that's why I felt like the kills from CSJ didn't come quick enough, and Pasha was like, you know what, forget this. I'm going to be the cleanup crew, and I'm going to be the guy that brings this match back, and he very nearly did.
He did, dude. It was so close. Oh, just, yeah, wow. I thought he was going to do it. I didn't realize until you said the commando was out of ammo. I'm like, oh shit. No, this is going to go a very different way. So, yeah, wow. Whew, okay, well, I need 30 seconds to calm down, so that means it's giveaway time. So you need to have been active in the chat. Make sure you're around, guys, supporting your favorite team, spamming some of them emotes. We like to see all that sort of stuff. Now, giveaway time, MRBC League. Now, I've got to kick ourselves out of here. Now, where the hell am I? Are you even in the chat? I don't even know. That'll save me having a look.
Yes, I am in the chat because I'm just kind of, you know, keeping an eye on.
Just having a bit of a looky-loo. Now, oh yeah, there you are. Done. Now, are there any?
You don't have to remove me. I could stay. You know.
I'm sure everyone would like that. Now, Commander Root, you can get the hell out. Now, Apricot Droop Fruit. I feel like that's another bot, but I kind of actually, yeah, I kind of feel like it is. I saw that. Well, anyway, bugger it. Let's just do the game giveaway. I need a breath. Oh, Cyclone Jack! Shoot me a message, dude. That is, what is it? Give a mech bay. Sorry, we'll do the 3 mech bays. So that was the mech bays there. So 1 mech bay to Cyclone Jack. Make sure you shoot me a whisper, mate, and I'll get that code over to you at some point later on during the cast. Whew. Well, top 3. Where are we headed?
We're going to be screaming rigged in the chat, by the way, now that Cyclone Jack won. Like, that's terrible.
definitely coming up. Now, drop 3, we have the Rubelite Oasis. Unfortunately, I don't have a map for this because it is a new map from PGI, and our overlay system here is a little bit old and a little bit rickety. So, nonetheless, what I'll do, I'll flip over to the map strat. Now, do you want to do a quick, what do you think might happen for us, considering that I can't bring a map up?
I have the map strat scene right now.
Oh, that's all right. I can sort that out. That's all right. I will do it. It's all right. Let me just save this.
Yeah, I have the map strat up right now, and well, from what I'm seeing right now, let me just take a quick look at the teams. So yeah, team 1 is going to be CSJ. Team 2 is going to be EmP. Now, in all the strategy talks that I've seen, most of people believe that the range advantage kind of comes from the Team 1 side because Fox 5, Echo 5 allow a lot of extra flexibility, and the ridge here at Echo 7 is kind of deceptive. There's really not a lot of room, and if you expand out into Echo 6 to try and get some range trades going, you really open yourself up since there's not a lot of open cover around Fox 5. There's some minor depth delays on the ramps that you could take advantage of, especially around Fox 6. So it feels like that despite the original belief that Echo 7 was kind of the advantageous trading position on Rubelite, that might go to Imperial. I don't see Imperial being necessarily changing their strategy. They don't need to. They're 2-0 right now. What's the conventional is working, and Imperial really only changes their methods and switches to the unconventional when they really only have to, which they really don't. Like right now, the trades are very close, but they're still coming up on top. CSJ, that was valiantly trading. I just want to see more aggressive play from the lights on Imperial. Like, I don't want to disrespect any players, but we have to call a spade a spade. Right now, CSJ is unfortunately being hampered by Iron. Like, he really hasn't done very well, and it looks like that they may very well be benching him, which could be the smart idea. He hasn't pulled over 150 damage once in this match, and I'm not sure if it's because he is having a bad day, if maybe he's just a little off, maybe he didn't, warm up enough. We don't know, since Iron is a fairly good player. He does have a reputation for having very solid aim, but right now he is not performing very well. He is underperforming to the skill level that he normally brings to this game. So I want to see more aggressive light play from Imperial, and I would like to see Imperial's heavies and assaults support that. But I know that Imperial is normally not that way. Like, the idea is that you protect your carry, so that's kind of the function that the lights serve. Bowser's the carry, Chimera's the carry. When Third Eye's in his ranged mech, he's the carry. And Stealth and Charlemagne kind of understand that and kind of play around it, but their flexibility is still there. Stealth definitely calls some very aggressive movements. So as a result, I feel like that the range trades are going to be the same. You're going to see Imperial take positions on Fox 5, Echo 5, perhaps on the ramps near Echo 4, and just bleed out CSJ. They're going to try and use their lights to safeguard Epsilon and Kappa. My feeling is that they might go for Epsilon since there's more cover to take advantage in taking that point. Kappa's much more open. It's much more dangerous to whatever team is trying to cap it. And the way CSJ is going to move, they're going to try and probably secure Echo 6, which means that's going to be wise for Charlemagne and Stealth to steer clear of Kappa since they're going to have clear firing lines. I would actually be very interested to see CSJ take more of a push deck, perhaps with some Daga some missiles, some brawl, or maybe even take streets to try and mitigate the weakness in lights. But overall, it's still anyone's game, as both teams are known for certain levels of unpredictability. For instance, CSJ was always known as a range trading game, and in Drop 2, they brought more of a brawly deck with assassins complementing their lights. And, EmP, there's numerous fables about Celt of 100 plans, little anime reference for anyone that actually watches anime, that he has very deep strategies, and it's a deserved reputation since he is a very, very strong thinker, strong strategist. So really anything is game for Imperial. If they feel that they have to pull out a wild card in order to get the win, they will do it.
Through
But
that,
it's your team, Ash. What do you think?
I mean, because we've got a 5-minute delay, I have a fair idea of what they may do here. To be honest, there hasn't been a lot of Battle for Midway planning because we've kind of been busy planning for Worlds and setting up for that. So I know there was a 45-minute quick powwow earlier today to sort that out, but that's kind of been about it. I'm not entirely sure of the plans because I'm not on comms with them. So I'm sure they're talking about what they're doing. I just kind of have a vague idea of what they're going to do, and I think basically what you've outlined is right, and I think both teams are going to do that realistically. That makes sense for the both teams, sort of DACA range control and wear each other down. I mean, we saw that in the first drop straight away, so first 2 drops. So that's I think that's what's going to happen, and it's just going to be a case of who trades best early on as to who wins, and do we see a super early cap on Theta? That could be very, very important in this match. I'm ready to go. Launch it whenever you're ready, mate. Also, so
now, boss.
Beautiful. We are on Rubelite Oasis. The tonnage for this map is 375 to 400 tons. So you've got 6 mechs to spread that tonnage limitations around. Again, Seabill variants only for those watching at home, and you can only bring a max of any 3 chassis across the 5 drops. So CSJx are low on night gears, as are EmP, I believe, too. Both of you use 2 each now. 3, actually, I think, after that last drop. So it's going to be interesting to see some mech choices. Do they go super heavy with some super light support, or do they sort of spread their tonnage a little bit more evenly? There's going to be 1 super fast light, I reckon, for each team. And after that, well, what the makeup and tonnage is going to be, who knows?
Yeah. We know right now, actually.
We do.
Like that the latter was correct for you. Yeah, it looks like that Imperial is going super heavy on one side, super light on the other. Rick Rom, Mad Cat 2B, Bowser Supernova A, Charlemagne Wolfhound 2, Javelin 11A for Celt. Interesting light choices. Wouldn't say I agree, but we'll see how they pan out.
Well, look at
this.
this. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, no. Mad Cat 2, 1 from Chimera, but please, no. What were you...
Oh, I've just seen 2 Annie 2As with 6 AC2s, a CSJ special, and 1 ERPPC. I'm guessing that's in the butt. In the belly of the mech. I'm pretty certain that's where that one goes. And Krasno in the Dragon 5N for the 3rd time. So that's done. And Natred here in a standard DACA Mad Cat. Nothing untoward or surprising necessarily about that. Now, what is Dario up to? He's on a little bit of a scouting mission. But if you will notice, EmP have taken the mid early. This is going to be a problem. This is basically what happened on drop 1. So EmP had control and forced CSJ to come at them. And then so that kind of flipped around. So this time, same again. EmP look like they are working towards having cap control. We have someone going out here to Epsi. Who's that? I think that's it's a Darkness. He's going all the way out there, but that's kind of it at the moment. Now, what loadouts do we have? Oh, look at this! Supernova A! Oh. Don't tell me it's Clags! It's ATMs! Pseudo Clag, okay.
Bowser in the ATM 12 boat, I will tell you something, playing with that in MRBC. If he wasn't averaging 1,000 damage in an ATM boat, he wasn't happy. So Bowser with ATMs is extremely dangerous. Now, it is to be noted that Rubelite does have a lot of vertical cover. There's a lot of ceilings you can take advantage of to try and mitigate the ATM damage, but that won't matter much if the brawl happens in the open at Theta, or if the range trades happen at the top level of the buildings in Rubelite. However, if there is one thing that Bowser is extremely good at, it's not just range trading, it's not just brawling, it's also being an ATM boat, and he will show it now. But it looks like that there's already a mech that's kind of getting lit up on the Imperial side, it looks like
it's Vex, I believe. Now, it's a little bit hard for me to kind of get up top and get a full view of what's going on the battlefield, so you guys are going to have to look at the mini-map, but a lot of extreme trading going on here. Natred is, well, can't do much at the moment. He's really, really super out of range for his mech's weaponry, and also noting Chimera has Gauss ERPPC, and Rickram has standard DACA with heavy medium lasers as well, so that's super hard. I mean, he better have some cool shots loaded up on that thing, because holy shit, that's a warm build.
And Rickram loves to play like that.
Ooh,
like
look at this strike right here.
Definitely has guys.
Strike here behind Ring Wraith. Does he see it? And is it an arty strike? No, he doesn't see it. Bang! What's that? 8%, 9%, 10%. Oh, Ring Wraith. That was a very good strike. Whoever dropped that behind Ring Wraith, he did not see that. And just nearly 8-10% for free. And same thing to Chimera. Chimera makes a trade here. Oh, airstrike instead of arty strike. So clean missing Chimera there. That's okay. Lucky. Did lose a little bit on that trade though. In the meantime, now Bowser. Oh, look at this, right? He's lurking here with the Supernova. If anybody comes close, if Natred pokes his head up in the wrong position, he's going to get what is that? Alpha 80 of ATMs. If Bowser is in the range. Rickram,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Rickram's moving up here. He's kind of losing his trades a little bit as well. Raz is 80%, but he's okay. Vex, let's have a look at Vex. Oh, Vex, let's have a quick look at him. Oh, he's just got no armor, so that's why he's sort of hurting a little bit there. Oh, he just ate quite a little bit there from Kraz. So yeah, Vex is down a little bit on the trading here, and Chimera is down too.
Yeah, it looks like Imperial's not doing very well on the trades right now, which is unfortunate for
but they've got the caps.
Them, because even though they have superior position, like they have the caps, yeah, but the trading battle is definitely not.
Oh, Natred's moving up here. Does he get a lucky shot on the Bowser? No, he doesn't. He doesn't see. Now, Rick is sticking his head up. I don't think he knows Natred's there. Oh, Rick eats. Oh, Rick has just eaten a good 10%, 12%, 14% there in that trade. That didn't go well either. EmP numbers, percentage-wise, are not good right now. The playmaker is definitely going to be Bowser at this point. Oh, wow, Ring Wraith has eaten 6% from a strike and some ATMs, so that's another good strike on Ring there. Kraz is now kind of hurt, actually. What's going on here? Let me have a quick look. Oh, wow. Oh, no, it's Kraz's other arm that's nearly wrecked, so that's not a problem. It's he's spare arm, and he doesn't really need that one. Now, Bowser is in prime position here. Like, as soon as these guys... Oh, Pasha hurts some more. See, the Bowser's still doing 2 damage per missile, not the 3. I think that's how the ATMs work at that distance. Now, Natred moving up.
Yes, it is. 2 damage. But it's still a lot. Like, you consider 80 damage on an Annihilator, and the ATMs are super focused. And right now, Bowser's definitely laying the pain on the Mad Cat Mark IIB that pushed up.
Oh! Ring Wraith is getting slapped by Rick here. Oh, he's going to be CT done. Ring Wraith's down. No, he's not. No, he's open torso and he's legged too. Well, not legged, but just about legged. So, wow, we've got 2 crit mechs on either team. Well, 1 crit mech on either team. So Vex's torsos are both open. Charlemagne Logan.
And
where was that?
Gets the pick.
Shit.
That was over by Kappa, it looked like. No, that was over by Kappa.
Sorry, no, it's right under... It's right underneath me. We've had a Seleth and Charlemagne little wolf pack go on here. I didn't even see that. Oh, I'm sorry, viewers.
I didn't see that.
Oh, Natred just got ATM'd. Oof. Oh, ATMs.
And the trades are still coming in. Pasha is pushing Vixius. It looks like Pasha's once again trying to stymie the trade, but at ring rate at 25%, this is not looking good.
Kraz just made Bowser pay though, right? So they got Natred down, but Bowser lost the torso for that from Krasno. That was a trade that was definitely worthwhile, but Bowser is now hurting because of that.
Charlemagne's getting the pick. It looks like the lights are on the move. They're going in for the kill. Charlemagne and Selth are basically charging down the Annihilator. They're the cleanup crew now. Cleanup on aisle 3. We need Pasha out. And that's exactly what Charlemagne and Selth are trying to do right now. They're working down the Annihilator 2A, 25%. Krasnopesky at 60, and it's done. And I think we could call this match pretty much because Dario's at 90% sure, but Kras is pretty much finished.
Well, Kraz didn't go down. Pasha didn't go down without a fight. He took Rick Ron down with him. I think Rick probably losing some of that armor early on probably did not help. And look at this, Bowser, the master of shielding, is still alive again. How does this keep happening? How does he keep being alive when he's cherry red CT all the time? This is crazy. Amazing
It
shielding.
is crazy, yeah.
Oh, and look,
you know what? He's gotten used to it for a very long time. He's gotten expert at it, but Dario finishes him in the mislinks A, and it's Krasnopesky at 40%, Dario 03 at. But does Kras have his arm?
No, he's lost it. He's lost it. But can they get Chimera down too? I mean, it looks like Charlemagne must be super hot because he's not even shooting Dario. He must be be super hot. Chimera is still shielding pretty well as well. Well, they should be able to get Dario.
I really agree with it. Charlemagne should be trying to tank for his team a little bit. Like, I can understand why not, because the lights have to preserve, but in the end, it really doesn't matter since Dario gets taken down, and it's just Kras, and the game is over. Solid.
We're going to have a bit of a look at each other here. No one's got any weapons left, and it's just, well, now get out of the heat and shoot them and kill them.
Chimera waving at Krasnopesky. Hey, how's it going, buddy? I see you got no guns. How are you?
Yeah, he's like, I got no guns. I'm just a walking dildo here with nothing on me. You know, like, I just look at that. I got nothing. I got nothing to do but nose people. And these guys are picking apart Krasnopesky piece by piece.
I'm not sure if you were around for the charging dragon, Ash. Do you remember that when collisions were in and the dragons could charge next down and cause them to...
No, I was not around for that, but the video I have seen many times.
Imagine if that was in. I mean, Kras could have potentially won the game for him, just charging mechs and then...
You are definitely correct. All right, damage numbers. Woo, wow. Run me through it. Good lord.
Bowser, a little less than 1,000. He's probably not happy right now. Over 1,000 is all that's acceptable for Bowser. And then we have Rickrom, Mad Cat 2B valiantly trading up front, taking a lot of damage with 488. Self, Charlemagne doing a lot of work in the cleanup. 3 kills, 2 assists, 645 damage for Self. 2 kills, 3 assists, 422 for Charlemagne. Understandable since the Javelin 11A has a huge heat advantage, especially on this map, but Self is taking advantage of every single heat advantage he can. Chimera 530 in the Mad Cat 2-1. Vixius 255 in his Hellbringer. Hey, he was unfortunately eating crow throughout the match via strikes and trades. Darkness Inside You getting picked very early in the mislinks by great light play from Selt and Charlemagne, 56 damage. Kras doing amazing work in the Dragon, though, 635, and the other damages for CSJ were very high. Unfortunately, MWO didn't want me to read off the rest of the damages, kicked me out of the lobby a little too late, but
I know. We need the bottom two are around 250 to 300 damage, I believe. Ringwraith ate a lot of strikes early. Whoever was placing those strikes behind him, really well done. I don't know who was doing that, but that softened him up pretty good, and yeah, sort of letting Salith and Charlemagne come in there and do some work. I think Vex went down and Bowser went down, so that brings it to 3-0 to EmP, and I think it's about 18 kills to 18 in EmP's favor. Obviously, map strat time. Let's have a look. Where are we? So we had who was Team 1?
Team 1 was
Team 1, I think.
No,
Team 1 was CSJx. My bad. Yeah. So we had the Annies, which I'll sort of put them in direwalls, pretend they're direwalls, right? The Annies are up here for sort of CSJ, doing their business, herding the mechs sort of across the way over here and over here. EmP had some mechs set up here. Bowser sort of snaked his way all the way around to about there. I'll put a big red dot there for Bowser. Now, what else do we have? We had Rick sort of come up there as well. He definitely hurt early. That trade over here, I think it was over here, he lost about 15% from memory to Natred, and I think a couple of the Annies giving a good little beatdown on poor old Rick there. But what made the play, and I kind of missed it, so I feel a little bit bad, was I suspect the lights came around here, and this is where Darkness Inside You got picked off. So they obviously did something around here, Selith and Charlemagne, and then after that came around the back here, around the back there, and yeah, these two Annihilators kind of got annihilated by the lights, as so happened in the end. Also, some very good trading with the ATMs from this position here. Mr. Bowser just sort of shooting across here. Paladin Pasha did not go down without a fight yet again, though. Slade Rick Rom, put him to sleep. And Kraz doing some good work up here as well for CSJ. So when Bowser poked, sort of looking this way in the green, over to hit, I think it was Ring Wraith, Kraz used that opportunity to come out and be quite aggressive on Bowser and immediately took his torso off. Bowser in a very, very slow supernova. He packs a punch, but kind of doesn't get out of the fight too damn quick. So, yeah, that kind of rounds out, well, that drop. So these guys
Just
now.
a quick correction, though, Ash. I believe that the pick actually happened around Kappa because I remember seeing the lights under here, and then the fact that they were able to make a quick flank and engagement and hit the Annihilator right here leads me to believe that they weren't really around Epsilon. I believe that the pick happened here around Kappa, and that might have been over a Kappa fight since Darkness was also kind of patrolling Kappa around this time. I could be wrong.
Maybe. But, I can't remember. Yeah. I just remember looking over his body, and it was near the supernova. So I think it might have been Fox 5. Maybe if I watch the stream, I'll kind of work it out.
I know.
No, it was. No, it was. There we go. It was FC side. There we go. I just quickly clicked over to the stream. So it was just on that FC side near Fox 5. It must have been. It must have been a case of they just jumped him. Good opportunity. Because yeah, neither of us are watching. But that happens. Definitely. So very, very quickly, we will launch into another quick giveaway while these guys get their butts ready. MRBC League loaded up, and we'll run. Oh, hang on, I need to take myself out. And yourself. This for another Mech Bay coming up. And Mr. Unfearing, you have won a Mech Bay. Please shoot me a message in the chat, and I will sort that out for you later on. Oh, we've got a third Mech Bay to give away, so we'll run that as well. Bugger it, we'll just launch straight into another Mech Bay. I'll get stuff, really? Nightbot? Bloody hell!
What happened?
Oh, the Nightbot won the damn thing. I didn't realise Nightbot's in here too. Holy shit. Let me just... Oh, there's Moobot in here, there's Nightbot in here. I'll get out. Right, running it again. Hang on.
Okay.
Right, Natred, there we go. Okay, we finally got a winner that I actually know is a real person. Well done, Natred. Shoot me a message at the end of your matches tonight on the stream, and I will shoot you the Mech Bay dude. Right, now, let's get back to...
Mech Bay well-deserved, too. Natred had good damage, and he played very well during that match, so...
Yep.
Mech Pack well-deserved.
Yep, well-deserved,
I don't think
absolutely.
The chat can say rig to that.
No, Jack can't say Rick to that. No, that was well played, and he made Rick eat a lot of damage on that trade. So again, now we're on Rubelite. It is basically going to be a reverse. These guys look like they're locked in, so I think we just need to sort of kind of check on that. And if they are, we are good to go. Yeah, so basically going to be a reverse. What do the teams do this time? Do we see Annie's? From CSJ, probably not, because they've only got one left to bring. So it's going to be an interesting drop at the 5th drop, because that's a lot of tonnage already done right there. So going to be kind of interesting to see what CSJ bring. The outer Nikias, I suspect maybe Mad Cats. EmP are now super low on Mad Cats as well, I believe. They've used 2. So do they go Annies this time around? I don't know. This could be interesting. So anyway, let's load it up and fire away and go balls deep. Let's get into it. Drop number 4 coming right up. If you've just tuned in, don't forget to be active in the chat. We have 1,000 MC to give away times 3. That's 1, 2, 3. 3 codes to give away. So make sure you are sticking around for that. We'll do 1,000 MC probably after this drop, and then we will do after the last drop, we'll do another 1,000 MC. Oh, and we've still got a back bay to give away. Oh no, Nature won that one. Just need to update that. Right, now these guys are hitting the ground. Have a look, shall we?
Ground now.
Yep.
And the mechs are all up now. Do you want to read up the lineup, or you want me?
Oh, you can go through the blue team if you want. You go through it. I'll just have a look at what their loadouts are.
Thank you very much. You're a gentleman and a scholar, Ash. Right now we got Bowser and the Supernova A. I wish I could take a quick look into that. As a matter of fact, I think I will, since I suspect. Yep, ATMs again. Once again, ATM boat from Bowser. Charlemagne once again in the Wolfhound 2. Stealth Javelin 11A. Warhawk Primes from Rick Rom and Chimera. Those, if they are what I think they are yes, 4 PPCs. They are going full trade. Third Eye in his trademark Night Gear D. And let me tell you something. I've seen that guy pilot the Night Gear, and he does extraordinary. So right now, CSJ is fighting an uphill battle. But what do we got for CSJ?
Well, CSJ are capping out their Mad Cats here with a B again, and a Gauss ER Large and ER Medium. So a nice hot build for this map. Kraz and a Mauler, AC2s, and a 2 Gauss 2 ER Large Mad D. Now, I don't know if it's got ECM on it or not. I know that variant can fit ECM. We've also got a Locust 1E here from Darkness, so freeing up the tonnage. And Dario in a Mislinks is off to do some business at Kappa. Again, though, EmP with the very early control over Theta. Interesting. I think Theta on this map is actually quite important. And you can have that light, funny business go on at Kappa and Epsi and back and forth as long as you want. But wait and see what happens. Now, Nature should have taken a lot more damage there. He actually did more damage to his legs dropping off than EmP did to him shooting at him as he walked across, because they did not land their PPC shots very well.
Oh, you can say that again. It looks like right now Imperials but it looks like right after we say that Imperial's struggling with accuracy problems, Kraz starts hitting some pretty big shots. He's down to 94, 88%.
And there's a strike too. No, he's down to 88, 86. So I think I'm a little bit delayed actually, because you're calling the damage and I'm not seeing it hit register for about half a second. So there might be a little bit of lag or some sort of delay going on here. You're not calling damage. I can't even see what's going on. Anyway,
right now there was a strike that was dropped on top. Who was that on? It looked
Pasha.
like it was on the Pasha with the Mauler 2C. And right now this isn't good. Kraz is a carry. He's got to preserve as much armor as he can. He's an extremely good player, great shot. He needs to preserve his Mauler 90. If he can't win these trades, he's got to just lay low for a little bit. Bowser trying to unleash some ATMs on the Mad Cat 2C, pushing up. But what else do you see? I'm
just watching here, right? We've got Third Eye, the 2 lights here. Darkness and Dario, right? They know that the Third Eye here is actually alone. And speaking of Third Eye, he just lost 11% in a single trade. I don't know who that was to. I think that might have been Ringwraith. He got hit. And Third's about to eat another strike here. Oh no, Third Eye misses a strike. Lucky. Very, very good. Natred is down to 71% though. I think he got struck pretty heavily, judging by his...
He gets struck pretty heavily, actually, yeah, because in the chat he was saying, wow.
Oh, wow, who is that? That feels like Chimera in a Warhawk. Yeah, that is Chimera in a Warhawk. Look at that. Natred pokes that torso out, and it's just about done. Natred can't be aggressive now. He's in some serious trouble. Kraz is now down to 71 as well. Those Warhawks.
He's doing his best Owen Wilson Nature doing his best Owen Wilson impression right now by saying "wow" in the chat, almost spamming it because of all the damage he's taking from Imperial. But Selth isn't that healthy either. 83% in the Javelin 11A. As a light, you have to be careful conserving armor when you can. But it looks like the percentage favors are still in Imperial. 80% across the board. And while some mechs are down to 70 and 80 on Imperial's side, Nature is down to 57%. So this match is pretty much a 5v6 unless they can find a way to squeeze Nature in without having to get him involved in the brawl.
Yeah.
Anything else you're seeing?
Not a lot. Saloth looks like he's quite hurt, but it looks like he's just taken something, a little bit of damage to the head. Maybe that's a strike or something like that. So it's opened up his head. He looks like he's crit, but he's actually not.
We got some light action. Selth and Charlemagne are taking a wide flank along the Epsilon side.
Yep.
It looks like they might be trying to go in for a pick similar to last game, which is very smart. Finally, Imperial is taking advantage of the fact that their light play just might be a little bit more advantageous than CSJ's. They're trying to go in for picks.
Kraz is also open torso, right? So we've got two mechs now from CSJ that are open torso, so they're really going to struggle. I hope that's an LFE MX-90 as well, or that could be really, really bad. For comp, it should be, I'd imagine. I mean, you don't need that much ammo as a quick play. You would normally excel that, but we'll wait and see. Now, Nature is still at 57, but he's trying to annoy Bowser here, and Bowser doesn't... Hang on, Bowser doesn't know that Nature's actually here. Oh, Bowser knows now. Oh, now Bowser knows Nature's here. And Nature just loses. Oh, 15% in that. He poked the corner twice. Bowser must have target decay or something, and that's it. He goes down. Yep. ATM's finishing the job there. Wow-wee. Oof. ATM's a nasty business.
Yeah, and Third Eye was there with the support. Very good awareness from Third Eye to make sure to finish Nature.
Oh, Kraz finishes off Rick. Now, I must have missed that. I've missed that Warhawk percentage is dropping. Chimera's actually at 58, so he's obviously moved off the back here. Where is that? Over here.
And it looks like the reason we're missing it is because JGX is starting to form along the other side. It looks like they're pushing up into Imperial a little bit. Imperial's taking a downward position. I'm not a big fan of this position. While they do have some cover from things like
EmP are kind of stuck here. Oh, but Bowser finishes off Ring, who was torsoed as well, I believe. Looking at the damage on his mech earlier. Third Eye is getting hammered by Kraz and Darkness there, turning Third Eye around, and well, when you're getting sandwiched from two ends, that's what happens. Dario is getting 2v1'd at the moment, but Darkness is upstairs, shooting low Charlemagne here in the butt. In the meantime,
there's a light bat. Yeah, it looks like there's a light fight going on right now. It looks like the Javelin and the Wolfhound are engaging the Locust and the Mistlinks. Right now, this light fight, I would say, is at a disadvantage, but the Mistlinks is still a great light fighter. Charlemagne is trying to get away from the Locust, realizing that he's not as much of a threat.
There's no focus. Neither team is focusing here. Both lights are just doing their own thing against the other mech. They need to be focusing.
Good, yeah.
This is not good.
Light play on Imperial's side. I don't know what's happening with Selth and Charlemagne, but they're just not focusing their mechs, and they lost the light fight. This isn't good. And Selth while finishing Dario, still has the
Selth gets Dario, but Selth's going down as a result of that. Pasha's
good light play.
Got up the top here. And, well, he's just eaten another ATMs. Oh, geez, they're nasty. Now, look at this. This is interesting, right? EmP have the cap lead at the moment, but they do not have the speed to control them with. Chimera is, I think, just about one touch CT. Well, two touches CT. This could be interesting. Oh, no, Darkness. No, dude, no. Don't go around that corner, please. So if they finish off Pasha, they should be out. Oh, I didn't realize Pasha was legged. That answers the question.
Yes, so it's pretty much up to Darkness inside you to carry this match, and pretty much anytime he makes a poke, you have to just clench your buttocks, since at this point these mechs have enough weaponry.
What he needs to do is actually go, well, I guess it can turn Chimera around, but Chimera is deadly accurate, and there we go. Locust loses 10%. Bowser's going to jump off. Wow, Darkness finishes him off. Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Now, Bowser's at minimum range. The problem with ATMs is minimum range. And Bowser goes down. Whoa, so there we go. Oh, easy does it, fellas. Pasha at 19%, shielding like a machine. And that is going to be game over to CSJ. Caps are not going to factor into this at all. So that's not bad play at all. I think that light fight there cost EmP the game. Well, this match, not in the series, but just this match definitely hurt. Sellers chasing his target, and Charlemagne chasing his target. If they had done a bit of focus, that could have gone very differently.
Exactly. For all the praise I've given Charlemagne in this match and Self, they've definitely been a decider in some parts of this match, but in that end, you cannot praise for what they did. The focus fire was not good, and the synergy in the light fight was terrible. Now, you can't just say that they threw the fight. Obviously, Darkness Inside You was doing a very interesting light dueling tactic. This is actually something I used to do in my 1v1s. He was bumping into the lights to mess up with their hitbox, because when you have collisions between mechs, the hitbox kind of scrambles, the mechs warps a little bit, and it screws with the accuracy of the player. So Darkness Inside You was using a very interesting, old, tried and true light dueling tactic to mess with Charlemagne, and it seemed like it was working because Charlemagne was switching focus too much between the Locust and the Mistlinks, which allowed Dario to do enough damage to both of them for Darkness Inside You to clean up. But it's also worth noting that throughout the trade fights, JGX was trading extremely well, and Third Eye was in some very unfortunate positions. He was trading well as well, but it seemed as though he was being a bit overly aggressive, which is strange because Third Eye is kind of characterized by having a more cautious, conservative approach, zoning in on one or two targets, and just finishing that guy off and moving to another target. But it turns out that Imperial was calling for more aggressive play from him, and while it was working at first, it allowed JGX to kind of regroup themselves in the middle around Theta and get a counter push going. But the biggest problem definitely was that light fight, and it was also the fact that the lights were eating way too much damage. As we've seen, Celt was down to 82% at before the fight even started. Charlemagne was down to 88. It was clear that those guys were eating way too much firepower, which is a shame. You really hate seeing lights do that when it's completely against the light philosophy. Now, while I'm a big fan of lights taking a little bit of damage for long-term gain, there really was no gain. They were kind of hovering around the main body too much. They weren't moving. They weren't flanking like they should have been in the first match. They tried doing 2 or 3 ganks, but they kept rerouting their ganks, which was wasting time, as while Imperial was pushing, Charlemagne and Celt just kind of kept trying to relocate, finding the perfect place to strike, never actually finding it.
Well, damage numbers, here we go. Kraz doing some really, really good work there in that AC2 Mauler was 744. Nature definitely taking some big hits there, 178. Dario getting picked off early, 106. Darkness running up there, 356, not too bad. And Pasha getting forced off that hill early, only managing sort of 480 in the end. He had to relocate, and I think that cost him a good 30 seconds to a minute of fighting. And Bowser there, 785. Chimera, 735. And Third Eye with 144, the low scorer there for the EmP. And Charlemagne and Saloth not gelling too well there in that game. So 164 and 230 respectively. And Rick only 377. I feel like he may have got focused. I didn't see what happened to him. I was kind of a bit too busy watching some other stuff going down. So
no, you were correct. Yeah, he got focused. I was paying attention to Rick Rom, and at the beginning of the push, he was kind of the tip of the spear, so to speak, for Imperial. But that caused, it caused him to basically be the first man out, which is why his damage was a little lower. And it's also worth noting that the damage was low because he's in the Mistlink's G. You really don't poke in the Mistlink's G. You wait for the fight to develop, and it never developed in time. The light battle kind of got in first, so that 106 damage was actually good damage since it was damage focused in the light fight and damage that allowed Darkness Inside You to clean up the rest of the match for his team.
Beautiful. You want to give us a rundown on the... Actually, I'll do the map strat very quickly. And after that, we will do 1000 MC giveaway. Just letting these guys know. Right, so let's flick over to map strat now. These guys are actually in the process of map banning while I've got this up on the screen. So I'll just go through how drop 5 works before we do a recap. So it is a 425 ton to 450 tons, and team 1 bans 1 of 3, and team 1 picks 1 of 2. That is how I think that's how it works. Either side gets to ban a map basically. So we've banned Polar Highlands and we've banned Grim, which I believe puts us onto Tourmaline Desert. So there we go. Tourmaline Desert. There we go. 425 to 450 tons. Now I'll do a quick rundown of map strat what happened this game. So EmP set up along here. Where is it? With the Warhawkies. Oh, do I make that smaller? No. Warhawks there and there. And started to do their tradie business. And we had a... Oh, where's the Mauler icon? I don't even know what the hell the Mauler icon is. Oh, well, it can be an awesome. So we had Kraz down here in the Mauler that looks like an awesome. Don't worry about that. And that basically was just trading early on. And then sort of Pasha was up here as well, sort of up the back. And he actually got forced off and down and around later on. But the Warhawks essentially doing this and this. Oh, sorry. Oops. Need to... The Warhawks doing this and this across this way. Natred for CSJx was around about here and copped an absolute slapping. Those Warhawks were watching him to come around that corner. So every time he stuck his arm around that corner, you see the arm before he sees you. So Natred not able to realize the enemies were sort of kind of looking at him and probably should have maybe relocated and got a different angle rather than picking the same corner multiple times. Meanwhile, we had Bowser rolling up under here in the ATMs underneath doing the lurky thing. And that's when Natred actually did reposition. Sort of came around here and then lost his torso pretty swiftly, and then he was CT'd, and well, that was that. So that's how that sort of fight went early on. There was still lots of trades. I think Rick went down. Rick Rom in his Warhawk was up here and went down. That was to Kraz, I believe, who at that point, if memory serves me correct, was low ground Echo 5, using the corner and the ledge to shoot upwards. Yeah, again, if that memory serves correct. And light fight, where was that? Because I kind of don't remember.
Oh, I remember that as if it was yesterday. It was around Kappa, right here. It seemed as though right there in the Delta 6 circle, it seemed as though Imperial was trying to make a play for Kappa, perhaps. Originally, it was a 2v1. Misslinks played by Dario intercepted him. And one thing to note about Dario was that he was actually playing that 2v1 very well. There were tourmalines around this area that he was kind of shuffling around and behind. So that shows his experience and his intelligence in playing the light fight carefully until darkness inside you managed to get back to the fight and kind of abuse hitboxes, so to speak, by getting Charlemagne and Cell to lag out a little bit and then finish the light fight by both of them having better focus of the duos. And as a result, that allowed the game to finish. Props to Darkness Inside you. Awareness during that fight showed greatly. And I think that you nailed it on the head. That was one of the big deciders of the match. If that Locust is finished, then Bowser is able to, get some distance with the ATMs. He's able to sit around Theta. And, yeah, he would have been able to finish the match. But because of the nature of ATMs, the Locust can close on him, get in his face, and shove small pulse lasers down his throat.
And just to note as well, Chimera just about legged that Locust. If you had of, that game actually would have gone to EmP because of the timer that was left on the clock. CSJx guys would not have been able to get the 5 cap in time to get the win. So that was pretty close. So Chimera then nearly pulled it back. But yeah, like I said, that light fighting there, I think not enough 2v1. It was 1v1 and 1v1, and then they sort of do-si-doed and that kind of thing. So that definitely hurt those guys there in that match, I think. So anyway, that's how it goes sometimes. I'm sure those guys will work it out. And well done to CSJx on pulling off that win. And again, Pasha still alive, 17%, one leg, just orange, another orange torso, not much of his mech left, and they just pulled off the win. And sometimes that is all you need. Just sometimes is enough. And there we go. So 3-1 on to Tourmaline. Well. What do you reckon we're going to see on this one, mate? I'll just flick the map over. It is the assault drop, so 425 to 450 tons. It is the big boy time with EmP being on Team 1 and CSJ being on Team 2.
Yep, and I think that we're going to see what we've. Oh my goodness, my push to talk button is ruining the map strat. I think what we're going to see is the same kind of stuff we've seen in many other drops around Tourmaline. Not necessarily a big brawl at Theta because neither team can move fast, but I think we're going to see trades around Delta 5 and Echo 4. Light play is going to focus around Epsilon and Theta, with Team 1 probably sending a light off to Kappa. Kappa's never really fought by Team 2 because, as you can see, there's no actual firing lanes that they could take advantage of to secure Kappa. So Epsilon and Theta are going to be Imperials focused in this fight, and JGX are going to try and challenge them as best they can. The biggest thing we're going to see here is, from the lights at least, is whether they can properly flank or gain angles. One of the things I've witnessed in my BFM, in kind of watching the BFM film, is that a lot of lights like to poke this Echo 4 ridge. And that's because the heavies and assaults can't actually shoot at anything on that ridge at close range because of the nature of the ridge's elevation. But what I find is that that's a mistake because heavies and assaults are already looking there anyway, so their crosshair placement's already aimed on the lights, meaning you poke this area, you're going to get killed. I find that the best way to poke would be around the edges of the tourmalines, perhaps, and try to flank to draw the attention of the assaults in this direction from other angles, so that way they can't focus fire on the main body, which is shooting from this Delta 5 section. Now, will Team 1 take advantage of that? Will Imperial take advantage of that? That remains to be seen. But I think, I mean, not Imperial. Will JGX take advantage of those ankles? That remains to be seen. But
Yep.
Either way, it promises to be a very good game. And actually, no, I was right. Imperial Team 1. Oy vey. So, yeah.
Perfect. There we go. That's a very good rundown, mate. Very, very good rundown. I think you're pretty much right. It's going to be that alpha lands business. So it's going to be a question of who can get into position quickest and deal the most damage fastest is going to win this big ballsy assault drop. And that's pretty much how this drop goes. It is very fast. It is very, very brutal usually. And it's over usually a lot quicker than most of the other drops because of, especially on Tourmaline, that alpha to alpha that lance movement. So here we go. Get ready. It is 3-1 Imperial's way. I'm not sure of the ladder standing, so I think this puts CSJx into second position over 228 Wild Ones. But I'll have to check that later. And I believe this may have secured definitely now the EmP win of the series, but it is going to come down to this last drop. I don't think anybody is going to sit back and, not win or play their best. It is coming up to the biggest drop, the big tonnage. Let's see what happens, shall we?
You're definitely right. If there's one thing that Imperial doesn't do, it's that they don't give up. Even if they're killing you 4-0, that fifth drop, they're going to bring the same level of intensity and focus because Imperial wants to bury you. They're Real Madrid from soccer. They're the 1990 Chicago Bulls. They're the current Los Angeles Rams for anyone that follows American football.
Alrighty.
They will bury you.
Drops are up. So it's AC2s all round for the EmP side. Fafnir. Oh, interesting choice. AC2s or Fafnirs for JGX. CSJx there. Wow, all of them. Wow, Fafnirs. Big CTs on those things. And it's just two teams walking at each other.
You know what? And Imperial doesn't necessarily have the advantage on this trades, though, because Vihictius is at 84% and Chimera is at 84%. Vihictius is bleeding armor. If he loses his arms in that Jaeger mech, then he's going to...
CSJ are just charging. They are literally just walking straight at them. EmP are now starting to back up. They've got a really, really good firing line, so I mean, anyone picking that is going to have a pretty bad day. Only issue now is Natron's going to be quite out of position because he actually kind of walked backwards. I don't know where he was going exactly, but he kind of walked backwards. Now he's got a long walk to get over to where his team is. So, well, now we just have to wait about 10 seconds for these guys to get into position. Reckless is in some serious trouble here. He's getting shot in the butt by Ring Wraith. He needs some support. I think Reckless is about to go down here.
Yes, he could, and it's also worth noting that Vihictius' arms are also almost gone too, so if Reckless goes, then this match could almost be considered a 4v6 since Vihictius' arms are nearly...
Ooh, big strike there on the CSJ dudes. Now, what happens? EmP have been forced a little bit into a corner here.
They have, and right now
they have a reasonable firing line, though. I mean, Bowser is still over here. He's got a lot of range, doing a lot of work. Oh, Salad gets Dario.
Picks Dario.
I feel like that was a rear shot. Not sure.
It might have been a rear shot. Yes, because no, I think it was.
No, I don't think so.
Because Dario was up. Oh, you think it was?
Yeah, no, I think it might have been a legged kill. Oh, look at that. Kraz must have peaked. I think it must be CT Cord. Yeah, he is on the Fafnir. That was some good work by Chimera and Rickrom there by the look of that. Now, what do we do?
Yep.
CSJ coming around to the left here. Bowser's got angles, yeah. Bowser's got some angles, but Bowser's got no support from his team from where they are at the moment. So, Pasha trading well. Bowser is now in some trouble.
So right now, Imperial's getting bogged down by the Tourmalines in the middle, so they can't actually establish clear firing lines, which is the reason why it looks like they're pushing to the left near Epsilon. They want to get more clear firing lines, so that way they could focus targets a little better. Krasnopetsky's almost down, so if they can get him down, that'd be a big win. But the Annihilator's taking shot after shot.
Darkness right here. He had the chance to harass Bowser in the butt really, really well there, but in the meantime, Seleth is now aware that he's there, but Seleth is going to go down. Seleth is going to go down because he is CT crit now. He's getting no help from his team. Darkness gets him. EmP are now in some trouble now. They are in some trouble. The damage is whilst Kraz's CT crit, look at the damage spread. It is very, very close. No one's got any caps, right? Like, have a look at this. No one's got anything. So there is no map advantage or pressure that's going to be applied. Darkness is still lurking.
Right now, EmP actually does have the map advantage. Sorry to interrupt, but EmP does have the map advantage because they're controlling Theta, so they're in effect trying to force CSJ to make some movement, even though CSJ has a light heading to Epsilon. But it looks like CSJ is kind of responding since they're starting to edge up to Theta a little bit. But what are you saying too, Ed?
I'm just looking here. So Bowser finishes off Kraz with a nasty flank around the side here. That's the view that Bowser had. Finishes him off. But Darkness is lurking in the back here. And Vex eats another strike. These guys' arms are nearly done on both Jaggers. These Jaggers are in some trouble. They've still got all their weapons, but they can't do much with them because they're all one touch from losing their weapons. It's going to come back to Darkness here, I think, making a good light play to turn the mech around while the main force from CSJ pushes in at the other end. The problem is, no one's got any armor left to do it. All the Fappies, have a look at these. They're all CT'd. They're all CT'd. The Fafnirs are all CT'd, and Natred has also lost a torso as well, so that's not going to end well for him. Oh, but Darkness, hang on! Darkness has done it! Darkness has dived in, made a play. Chimera finishes. Chimera gets Pasha in the meantime. Darkness, I think, is about to get Chimera.
Annihilator, but it looks like
he's legged. Bowser finishes Ring Wraith. Look, Bowser doing the flank. Bowser doing the flank over here. He's made the play. I think Bowser has made that play right there. And wow. Oh, that is a turnaround that I did not expect. I thought that, CSJx were going to drop at least 3, maybe 4 mechs there. Honestly, I thought that was going to go down to maybe 1 or 2 mechs left, and that is it. Wow. EmP pull it off, and Bowser doing this wide flank here. Look at this. He's traveled a massive, massive distance and essentially been uncontested. Maybe just quickly looking, the CSJ guys kind of turned around here and kind of shot him. They might have been able to do something, but I think Bowser's flank there did some work, some really, really good work, and pulled the win off from a very precarious position after Seleth going down to, who was that? Darkness in the little Locust.
And if you look at the percentages, this match was not a stretch by a long shot. Like Imperial had 5 mechs up, but this is what you would call a Pyrrhic victory. Chimera 29%, Rickrom 26%, Vixius 47%,
yep.
Reckless 56%. The only one that's above like 60% is Bowser. And let's be honest, look at Bowser's mech.
Rick is one touch, right? Rick is just about done. That is some really, really, really top level armor rotating right there. Like, and good composure from EmP to basically fend off that very aggressive push by CSJx. That was really, really aggressive because I feel like they had the slightly faster speed advantage from the spawn too to kind of, well, essentially push EmP backwards a little bit and wait and see what happened. And then, yeah, Bowser making that flanking play there. The other kill on Dario early definitely hurt a little bit.
Oh, Rickrom.
And Rickrom because
he had stock armor.
He had stock armor. Oh, that'd be right. He's probably in a stock mech from Worlds playing around. But look at the damage. Here we go. EmP a very, very good spread there. We've got 460 for Rick, 450 for Chimera, and all the Jaegers kind of coming in a little bit low because they really, really had very, very open arms very early. CSJx were definitely focusing those as a priority. And Pasha and Ringwraith there with 674 and 641 respectively. Natured with 510. Actually, I thought he must have lost the torso a little bit earlier than he did. 510 is still very, very good. Krez there only 333 this time. He got focused very early coming across. Was definitely at the front of the push. And then Darkness and Dario rounding it out. Well,
one thing to notice here about Imperial is that this is where the difference between teams definitely shows in these heavy assault matches. No one from Imperial had damage over 500. That tells me that Imperial's damage was constantly focused, while CSJ's was much more spread out. Imperial's ability to torso twist definitely made the difference because of the fact that their mechs were still alive at 20, 30, 40%. You look at CS damage, you would think CSJ won because the damage numbers are just so much greater than Imperial's damage overall, but Imperial was focused and made every single shot from their ACs count. That's what you would call top level play.
Yeah, well, that was some amazing damage spreading. I actually thought it was going to be that last drop a little bit closer than it was. Yeah, you want to run through some map strat while I move these dudes around and drag and drop people from chat channels?
Yes, Bowser is actually already asking me for the interview. I will trust you to do that while I go through the MRBC map.
Yep.
So just a little bit of an address. I kind of made a mistake. I said I said Imperial was the one that was controlling Theta. I was wrong. That was CSJ. My bad, chat. Laugh at me all you want. Sorry. But anyway, going on from that, basically Imperial said, you know what? We are going to just push you right in the mouth. We're going to punch you in the mouth with AC2s. And CSJ was definitely responding fairly well in kind. They were pulling back their team slowly but surely to trade spots that were favorable to them. Some mechs went back behind D6. Other mechs went into the crater around Delta 5. Other mechs tried to swing around. And originally, the positions were Imperial had the Tourmaline and CSJ had the Delta 5 area. Now, the biggest change was what happened when Imperial kind of switched positions, pushed out along the right because they realized that they were losing trades thanks to these Tourmalines. So when that happened, the game kind of completely shifted. Imperial was the ones taking these positions in Delta 5, and then after that, CSJ were the ones that was controlling the stage area and were able to take Theta. Now, the biggest difference in this game was probably Dario. He was looking for a flank back when Imperial was occupying this stage over here, but Celt was able to see it, and with the assistance of the heavies and assaults, was able to pick Dario in this location, which caused the CSJ to be down a 5-6 mech deficit. But that didn't matter since Darkness Inside you was able to get a similar pick on Self, and the match just kept on twisting and turning from there. Now, Imperial definitely had a conundrum because Imperial was in this open area, Delta 5, Delta 6. Meanwhile, CSJ was able to secure Theta, but that didn't matter because at the end of the day, what happened was that Imperial essentially were able to stretch their lines and attack from different points, hitting their mechs in multiple locations, well, hitting CSJ's mechs in multiple locations as they were hitting around stage. They had some in Delta 5, they had some in Delta 6, and it was just a brilliant Overwatch flank maneuver that combined with the extraordinary torso twist abilities of CSJ guaranteed them the win. And according to the pings, they should be in the chat, and I'll stop talking. Ash, do you want to go with the interview questions?
Oh, firstly, g'day, fellas.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Good games tonight. Wowee. If the season was going to end on a bunch of matches that were close, full of action, and basically some really top-end play in MechWarrior right now, I think the viewers got it. Well done to both teams. I think you guys did really, really bloody well tonight. Even though 4-1 suggests that is, maybe not the case. That last drop was very, very close. I guess, Ring, give us a rundown. What happened on that last drop? How did EmP seem to walk away with 5 mechs basically all dead?
We didn't cap. We just wanted to kill him. That was.
Oh yeah, we saw that happening. That was good.
At the same time, you have to wonder, sure, you wanted to kill them, but Tourmaline is a map that lends itself to the cap. There's definitely many ways in which you can take advantage of the cap to force Imperial into positions. So sure, you guys wanted to kill them, but it felt strategically you made an error because you had the position that allowed you to have map control. So how come you just wanted to kill them? How come you didn't want to cap?
I did stomp my fat ass, fat annihilator on that
That's all right.
data. But you know, it was too late. I mean, I think we just kind of got blinders. I mean, there's a lot of history with some of our players and stuff like that. So we felt like we wanted to outtrade them the whole time, and you know, they outplayed us.
Well, credit to you. You guys definitely did do very, very, very well on the trades. Like I said, like Ash and I were leading to, that 4-1 is very deceptive. Like, you guys played very well. Ring, I know you and Energy have a history of being Mech Warrior 4 legends. Like, it definitely showed here. You guys played extremely well. Props to you. And now, Bowser, I want to go to. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to say something, Ring?
No,
Okay.
What was going on? I want to know what was going on. Drop 5 there, Bowser. What were the comms like when you sort of saw all the Fafnir coming across? Because it looked like the arms and the Jaggers.
We were like, we predicted they would do this, so we were ready to receive it, and receive it we did. Not the best, perhaps, but we received it very well, in my opinion.
Overall,
well,
considering how much more firepower and armor they had than us.
True,
well,
true.
while Imperial definitely came with some great victories, Bowser, I'd like to go into drop 4 a little bit. And, you know, light duel aside, we can definitely argue that, unfortunately, Charlemagne and Self's lack of coordination, despite being nothing short of exceptional throughout the other 3 drops. What was going through the Heavy's head? Why did you pull off such a risky push? Why try and force your team when you were fairly decent on trades and you had Cap?
It was actually a push from me and the 2 lights to eliminate their Mad Cats. Our mechs just gradually moved up as we gained an advantage, but we were very hurt from the trading phase. They got picked off by enemy lights.
Yeah, we noticed that. A few of the percentages were pretty low.
We lost
from that trading,
Night Gear, we lost our Warhawk at the end, myself at the very end, perhaps even one more. I think our other Mad Cat too. I think all of those died to their Locust.
Well, that then brings me to my next question. Like, the Locust cleaned up at the end, right? So obviously the gradual movement and the push isn't exactly what killed Imperial during that match, but what happened for the push between you and the 2 lights? Obviously you guys got disjointed because the lights were in one place and you were in a completely different.
To be honest, the lights just kind of did their thing. I don't really know what happened. I was more focused on my game. All the bigs were focused on our game. We were outplaying them, so that would be a question, I guess, for our lights. As far as I understood it, they were outplaying the enemy, but apparently that was not so.
Well, props to the lights. They were doing decent trades and they were fending off caps. It feels like it just came down to the light duel. And now, Ringwraith, to go into drop 1 and drop 2, what was CSJ's mindset in bringing these lighter drop decks? Normally they're a trading team. You guys definitely seem to shift more to a brawl team. What made you change your philosophy from range to brawl? Was it just the tonnage or was it something else?
The first drop we had the advantage with the better drop on drop 2. As far as the trade, you can kind of get more lines of sight on that Cat Theta where they're set with the MK2 and the Night Gear. But they had 4 light mechs. They had 3 lights and 1 assassin, so they really pushed the cap game and forced us to push in earlier than what we wanted to. We felt like we were winning the trades, but it didn't matter because they did a really good job on their light play, winning the caps and forcing us into a position we didn't want to be in.
Yeah, I think that second drop, I think the percentages were favoring you guys earlier on. But did you guys notice that EmP was coming around that right hand sort of FC side push a little too late? Because I think they had EmP had was it 2 lights and maybe 2 assassins or something, sort of jump Kraz, and then sort of Bowser just charged across with PPCs. I think maybe another 5 seconds, 10 seconds would have changed that maybe.
Yeah, I think Bowser just charges with PPCs in general, but I wasn't in that drop.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I actually haven't been able to see the tape.
Oh, fair enough. Well, go back and have a watch of that one. That was an interesting drop too, actually. Because I think you guys were controlling a little bit better on that second drop, at least percentages wise, until and caps too, actually, and kind of forced the EmP hand to kind of come and basically be aggressive and do something. So.
Yeah, that drop one side seems to have a good cap advantage if the other side wants to trade along that back line.
I would, definitely agree. Terra is maybe not the most balanced, but again, it plays a little bit differently too. You can do different things from different sides and quite distinctly too. So, well, good drops. one of the best casts, drop wise, action wise, to team wise. I think I've done so far. So props to both teams. Like that was pretty bloody good. I had a good time. I had a really good time. Hope you guys enjoyed playing. Like, on that note. So,
speaking of which, hold on, Ash. Just I'm still trying to be familiar with the JGX team ring. Are you on that team with them, or are you separate from that team? Because I know Energy.
Yeah, Energy plays for JGX in the Worlds. I did not have the time to play Worlds. I family stuff, so this is just kind of like recreational at the time.
I hear you. Well, it's a shame. You played very well, but yeah, great.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, good games.
No problem.
Good games.
Easy,
anything you want to close out with, Mr. Ring?
It was good. We could have probably thought about our matches a little bit better and spent a little bit more time. It's just this is our phase of life. So, but no, taking nothing away from Bowser and crew and EmP. You guys did a great job, and the lights definitely. You guys working really well. I think this is the most important piece on the game. If in-game lights, they run the whole match for the opposing team. So it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a chess piece, like a rook or whatever you wanted up in the end game.
Yeah, a bit of just moving, lights, lose a bit here, lose a bit there, but yeah.
Yeah, speaking of lights, I just wanted to say, I hope Iron has a better day because he definitely didn't seem to bring his best light game. Just give him my wishes. I hope that.
Yeah, we put him in a mech that he probably didn't want to play, but.
Yeah, that's probably it. I felt that because he definitely underperformed, and it was unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was in a commando, I think. So.
Yeah, I felt like on those hotter maps, you definitely do better with piranhas and mist lynxes. But Bowser, any closing statements?
I don't know much to say. Well played to CSJx.
Yeah, good game, dude.
GG's.
Broton title, well deserved, Bowser. Well done.
Well played.
Thank you.
Well played, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for a post-game chat. And yeah, I'll see you guys at MechCon.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. We have some MC and bits and bobs to still pump out here. So let's get to that part, and then we can close out. I've worked out the standings as well. So I'm kind of a goat from the team has worked it out, so I can now read it out to everybody in a minute. But what we will do very quickly is give away. How many MC have I still got to go? I've got 3,000 MC to give away. Beautiful. Okie dokie. Here it comes. Let me just flick over to the giveaway thingamajig and add viewers. MRBC League.
I'm just gonna put this out there, man. I could be 1,000 MC, so maybe just leave this on in there.
I'm taking bribes, $5 at a time. Actually, probably cheaper to buy it yourself then at that point. Let me just sort all these names out here. We'll just do them one after the other, smash them out, nice and quick, nice and easy. All right, first one, 1,000 MC coming up. Ooh, Natured, second win. So you won a mech bay earlier on, Natured. You're probably in your games. So make sure you give me a whisper because you've got 1,000 MC and you have a mech bay there as well. Run through 2 more giveaways. Another 1,000 MC coming right up.
The chat's gonna be seething at that.
Magpie Thief, there we go. Magpie Thief, there we go. 1000 MC, and the last 1000 MC we have to give away. Let's rock and roll. And slow cool. There we go. I don't think that is a bot. If it is, well, fuck if I know. At this point, I don't know what I'm going to do because we need to round out and close off the stream. Any last words, Mr. Saruman, before I finish this off?
First off, thank you very much for inviting me to the cast, Ash.
Oh,
This was
thank you,
an awesome
man.
experience, and you're an amazing co-caster. Love you very much.
Good fun,
And
dude.
I have to say
Good
that
fun.
this was, yeah, and this is a hell of a match to cast. Like this, you know, this was the match. This was the battle between
Yep.
Titans. You know, the proverbial Zeus versus Hades from Clash of the Titans one with Australia's favorite actor Sam Worthington.
And we got
you
it.
know,
We got it too, right? Like we actually got it. Like we got a great bloody fight today. Really, really good shit.
Definitely. It was a cage fight, pretty much, just blood all over the streets. Well, mech oil all over the tourmalines and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just an incredible match, and I'm extremely grateful and happy that I was able to cast this. This was an incredible match, and I really have nothing to say. I think we covered everything.
Beautiful. Well, that rounds out the cast. Like I said, we've just been having a great old time here tonight. Good cast. Thank you for joining me, man. Really, really appreciate it. This rounds out the Div A, I should say, leaderboard. So EmP with the win. It's worked out 41 points. CSJx come out with 31 points, and 228 Wild Ones come out with 27 points. So first, second, and third, respectively. Well done to all the teams in the competition. This is the last time I get to cast for this battle for Midway season because next week I'm away, and the week after I am getting my butt on a plane to MechCon. So you probably won't be seeing a hell of a lot more of my chin on Twitch for the next probably 4 to 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks.
I will tell you right now, people are going to miss that chin. I know I'll miss that chin. Like when I wake up at 6 in the morning, I know I can depend on seeing that beautiful crimson chin of yours on the stream.
Mate, there's going to be hearts breaking all over the city tonight, I tell you what. So, look, thank you guys. Had a really, really, really good time. Great casting again. Thank you to all my fellow casters this season that have done an amazing job. I still believe there's a cast going. So we will actually go and head over there very, very shortly as well. But thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you for coming, or this afternoon, or the morning. I would love to see a whole bunch of Ash for casters in the chat. One last hurrah, maybe someone from PGI is watching, and maybe by some chance I get to do a cameo at MechCon and help out my other two friends, Mr. MDM and Mr. Bandit. Maybe. Here's the hoping. But anyway, thank you for joining me, mate. Thank you to everyone in the chat for coming out today to watch this, and yeah, see you guys later on.
Yeah, see ya. Have a good night, folks.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, and see you.